All right, so now we're going to do Leos. For this Tarotscope for the month of June, I drew the cards the Five of Cups, um, Six of Wands, Two of Swords, Temperance reversed, uh, the Magician, Strength, and in the advice position, we have Five of Swords reversed, and then the underlying message is Six of Pentacles reversed. Now, this was a little bit interesting um, because the Five of Cups shows that Leos might be moving forward from a negative situation of some sort. Um, and then the Five of Swords reversed shows, lingering resentment, a desire to reconcile, desire to forgive. So perhaps so perhaps the advice that Leos have is rebuilding that bridge that might have been burnt of some sort, uh, in some way. Um, and then the fact that the Six of Wands is in the challenge position is interesting because Six of Wands means victory and success and public reward. So the challenge could be Leo should be wary of how they act when they win a situation or when they achieve some type of victory or when they come out on top. Um, that that could connect with like the past and the future card. So, like in the past, there was temperance reverse, which means extremes, excess, and lack of balance. So, perhaps in the past, you may have really been off kilter. You may have been going wholeheartedly into something and neglecting some other aspects of your life. But now you're in a situation, or not necessarily now. Now, you have acceptance, you have the moving on, you have the peace, and with peace, there comes a sense of balance. And going forward in the near future, there's a sense of bravery, there's a sense of inner strength and focus, um, which requires some organization. And with that in mind, especially when you think like the temperance card is supposed to be balanced, so when it's reversed, that of course means imbalance. But the strength card is a sign of balance as well. Because when you look at the strength card, you see a woman and you see a lion. And they're very close to each other. And the lion can easily kill the woman, and the woman can easily probably kill the lion. But there's a certain level of trust that's required. The lion has restraint, mind you. Leo is the symbol. The lion is the symbol of Leo, showing some restraint, and the woman is trusting that the lion won't completely harm them. It's like a smooth balance. Um, but then that makes me think of what I pulled in the conscious and unconscious position. So the magician was pulled in the conscious position, which means you're approaching your situation with that willpower, with that motivation to create, to manifest, to get what you desire. But then unconsciously, you have this feeling of making difficult choices, and you're indecisive with the Two of Swords reversed. Um, with that in mind, like, excuse me for 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let me check something real quick. Okay, yes. So yes, reversed, you Two of Swords means difficult choices and indecision and not quite figuring out, understanding what you need to do. And those two things aren't in alignment. When you want something when you have this pure willpower and desire behind you, but then you have a lack of committing to a decision, you're not in the best situation, because what good is willpower if you're not going to decide? Will requires some type of commitment. If you want something, you're going to have to commit to it. And so going after what you want requires that. And if you're not sure what you want, then you could hit a few bumps in the road. So that could be it. Especially when it comes to like the underlying message of Six of Pentacles reversed, which it signals selfishness, stinginess, and debt. It You know what you want and you know what you want to manifest, so you might, but because of your indecisive like feelings, you might not make the right decisions, or perhaps there's a need for you to make the right decisions, financially or material wise, because selfishness isn't always bad. But given the fact that like in the past you might have dealt with uh, some extremes, some excess, some lack of balance, and you're indecisive, and just like now you're finding peace and now you're gaining victory, perhaps you should just be wary that you're not thinking of only yourself, and perhaps you should be wary of keeping all things around you in some type of balance. Balance seems to be the thing. Balance seems to be the thing that I'm seeing with this reading, and it might be something to consider for the month of June. And again, this is applying to Leo suns, Leo moons, and Leo rising. So if your sun is in Leo, if your moon is in Leo, if you're a Leo rising, that's who this reading was for. And I hope it resonates with you. If it doesn't, take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't. So moving on to Virgos. Now Virgos were intense. Okay, so we have Virgos. So the cards I pulled for Virgos, those who are Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, and or Virgo Rising, I pulled the Moon card, Three of Pentacles reversed, the Chariot card, the Star card, Justice, and Two of Cups. And then for the advice, I pulled Ace of Pentacles reversed, and the underlying message was the Sun. Now, Virgo's got a lot of the major arcana, and when you get the major arcana, that means those are like some real potent messages you're getting. And you guys have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, yeah, there's some things that Virgos might want to think about going into the month of June. Just to think about. So for like at the heart of this, so there seems to be like this theme of being direct and focused, but there's a difficulty in using those qualities to manifest the desires you have. So like at the heart of this, you've got the moon, which signals the unconscious, illusions, and intuition. And your challenge is Three of Pentacles reverse, which signals lack of teamwork, disorganized group conflict, and competition. So perhaps you're in touch with those feelings that you have, and you're now in a place where you're in tune with your intuition or with your unconscious desires, but there's still this disorganization, or you're conflicting with either the people around you, or perhaps these aspects are conflicting within you. Because you have the Two of Cups card signals that there might be a moment for a positive partnership in the future, in the near future. You might have that, and your trust of your intuition seems to be the key factor for helping you achieve this outcome. Because consciously and unconsciously, with unconscious, you have the Chariot, which signals direction, control, and willpower. Consciously, you have Justice, which signals cause and effect, clarity, and the truth. these are two cards that signal you've already broken it down and you've already laid it out and organized your situation in some way. You've already probably broke down all the pros, all the cons, the positives, the negatives, what this outcome might be, what this outcome might be. Um, you've probably already done it. You've already dissected your situation and your possible future from an analytical perspective. So now might be the time you might want to put that intuitive intelligence to use. You might want to use that moon and tap into that unconscious, what feels right, what is feeling right, what do you feel drawn towards. This might not, it can't be something that you're necessarily that's quantitative. It might be something that's qualitative that you might have to look at when it comes to intuition. Um, the Ace of Pentacles reversed, uh, as the advice, signals that you could signal that you might miss some opportunity because you aren't allowing your intuition or unconscious perspective to have a voice in the matter. Because the Ace of Pentacles reversed signals lost opportunity and missed chances. And with Pentacles, it's usually material chances. It's usually either financial, something in the material realm, manifestations. So you might be missing these manifestations because, yes, you have, unconscious, you have the underlying feelings of direction and control, and your will is strong, and consciously you understand this leads to this, and clarity, you have that clarity and you understand the truth, but you might be lacking a different type of truth, which is again that intuition, what feels right. And that's where the internal teamwork can come about, because you can break something down quantitatively, you can break something down by numbers and analytically as much as you want to, but if you don't also take into account the intuitive aspects, the what feels right, why does this feel right, what are you drawn towards, the vibes, then that's that's a disconnect. That's a lack of internal teamwork. We need both our intuitions and our analytical sides. We have two sides to our brain. You have to use both sides. That's a sense of balance. Um, but yeah, that's a sense of balance that's required. But that seems to be like the main message to mull over, because the underlying message signals positivity. So everything around you might be taken care of in like true Virgo fashion, but it's time to let yourself have whatever this month has in store, to like really embrace the positive moment that you might be entering for this month of June. Um, because yeah, like you've broken it all down. You just need to just go feel it out. Feel. I know Virgos, they earth signs and they like control. It's real difficult for them to feel some stuff. But that might be just it. You might just need to feel what feels good. I hope this resonates with you. Those who are Virgo sun, moon, and rising, take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't.